I hate this delay. I never know how long the delay is. There we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Prospero.
Hello.
Pop-Tart.
Hi.
Adam.
Hello.
You just activated your camera by accident there.
No, I didn't. I flashed everybody. Hiya.
And as it is once again a Friday, I'm, of course, the keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are all of you doing tonight?
I'm good.
It's Friday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm very.
Now I'm curious what you've been doing that you just found out it's Friday.
Oh, you know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
Indulging in some herbal remedies.
Possibly. I cannot tell a lie.
It's Friday after all.
I am mourning the death of our great leader, Caesar. And though Brutus, an honorable man, I had to bring it up. I had to.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad somebody pays attention.
What are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not. Look, Macedon.
Haha.
That was an aim specifically at you. It was I'm glad somebody pays attention.
Oh yeah. But I think Prospero was Poppy. Oh no, we got two P names.
Yep.
Poppy, I think I interrupted you. I apologize.
No. Do you mean before we got on or after?
No,
when I asked how everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I just said good. I don't have anything going on in my life, to be honest. Like,
That's awesome.
Fair enough.
That actually can be really good.
Oh, dude, after the past 10 years, yeah, it is really nice. I just chill at home and I cook and I clean and I don't deal with anything else.
Oh, that people underestimate the value of routine. Just comfortable, happy routine. The lights are on, the heat AC is on, and I can cook and clean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not. How do I phrase this without trying to be a pity party? I don't mean it in that way in any form, but Chris saw we do the TikTok. I know people don't like that, but he was watching one and it's like, oh, what do you like, that you have now that you didn't have as a kid? And he was talking about stuff and he's like, what about you? And I'm like, well, I have a place to live and electricity and food, so I'm good. I have very bare minimum standards. Shit's good.
Yeah.
I know I'm spoiled now, but back then I was just like, yeah, I'm happy as fuck.
Well, hey, what did you all cook?
Oh, for who are you talking to?
It could go to either of us, but I think he was
Well, I think
asking
both of you.
Because you were...
Well, both of you, considering Sanguine, you usually do some cooking yourself there. I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He has the more interesting one. As Sanguine likes to call it, I do the feral raccoon thing a lot.
I think we debunked that last time.
No, you tried to, and you failed.
No.
It is still feral raccoon.
It's delicacy eating. It's selective delicacy eating. But go ahead.
Yes, it is ghetto charcuterie boards, but
it is ghetto tapas that is limboing beneath the bar of ghetto tapas. Feral raccoon.
We are mighty limboers.
Hey man, ghetto tapas is better than no food at all. So
I broke Sanguine because I was talking about how we were talking about when we get off work and we're just not ready to cook and stuff, so we just kind of grab stuff out of the refrigerator like cheese or boiled eggs or pickles and kind of put them together. And I was like, if you want to be fancy, you can put them on a paper plate.
Yeah.
And Sanguine broke.
No, that is look. I know
feral raccooning.
Sanguine. There are more people that do that than you can imagine. I have been known to fold cheese, Swiss provolone, whatever. Lay it on Triscuits, nuke it real quick to melt it, and eat that.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was like, "How can you say fancy it up and then say paper plate?" Like he yelled it. It was funny.
It is feral raccooning.
No,
Just because there are
raccoons
more
don't use paper
feral
plate.
raccoons
Yeah.
I
does
got
not mean that
Don't.
it's not feral raccooning.
I got Adam to come over to our side because he's like, "Can you eat this in bed?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. Just take the plate with you, and you
Yes.
just have like a selection of food and a drink, and you just eat it in bed before you go to sleep."
Feral raccooning.
No. It is economy of scale. You don't want to put anything in the sink that you have to wash. So you
I
use a
could have
paper
sworn
plate.
I just saw a commercial where somebody was like, "Oh yeah, this kind of cheese." I think it was a brand of cheese. It's like it's your night to shine, and they just showed a plate full of different cheeses, and I think there was olives on it and assorted meats.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
like, yeah,
basically what I
Full
do.
charcuterie
Yeah.
board.
yeah,
Yes.
Yes,
that's
it's the
what-
same thing.
Except, yeah,
When
well,
you're-
you don't
when
have to
your
put it on
crackers-
wood.
yeah.
The
paper plate's
problem that I
fine, that's
have
nice.
is that the original one that she mentioned was like goldfish, gummy worms, some
Hey,
cheese, a few
that wasn't
pickles.
me. The pickles was me. Sarah was the one that said gummy worms. One of the things I did when I worked, the memory care at night. I'm sorry, when you just got your ass beat by a 96-year-old, you don't feel like going home and cooking. So I would just grab a paper plate. I would throw some like almonds on there, some meat, and some because I told them I prep for my raccooning apparently. I like boil eggs, I chop up cheese, and I do all that, and then I would just go in and throw different things on a plate. I love pickles, so pickles always goes on there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Delicious.
they're so good. And
Sounds
and
perfect to me.
And so it's just a selection of different foods that meet all your requirements, and I would just eat it in bed before I passed out.
You can also do a lot of things
Wow,
with
yeah.
the remainders of your pickle binges, because you know that pickle juice. Get chicken, throw chicken in that pickle juice.
Oh yeah,
Let it sit overnight. Fry up
I
that
do.
son of a bitch, and
I do it with my pork chops too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
with-
It's really good on the pork chops.
Acid breaks down the tough tendons and makes it really
Yeah,
good.
I don't do it as
just
long with the
flavors it
pork
up
chops.
really nicely.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah, I don't do it as long with the pork chops, especially since I get the really thinly cut ones, and then I batter them in the breadcrumbs and fry them. It's good.
Oh yeah, I'm talking when you're getting like half-pound chicken thighs and up.
Yeah, but for tonight, we just had an easy dinner because I haven't been feeling real good. I got like an abscess on the top of my mouth.
Oh no.
And so it's a little one so far. So, but you know how they can make you feel. And Angel's at her boyfriend's house. So we just did a breakfast for dinner. I did like a breakfast scramble with hash browns and
Perfect.
sausage and eggs and cheese.
Yeah,
Mm.
very nice.
Yeah, breakfast for dinner is delicious.
It's
Oh yeah, Chris loves it.
Oh no, it's like the best time to eat breakfast.
Yo, hold on.
Especially if you're doing the labor-intensive breakfast, like if you're doing French toast or Dutch babies or shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Make that for dinner. Don't make that for breakfast. You don't want to have to wake up early enough to do that shit for breakfast.
All right.
Well, but I gotta say, if you have an issue with eating breakfast meals at around dinner time, I think that's more of a psychological part on your end, because you're still consuming food.
Dude,
Yeah.
Waffle House is open 24 hours, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I've
want a
had
waffle?
people.
Get a
Same
For a
thing, but
reason.
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that get really confused when you eat non-breakfast food for breakfast,
Yeah.
which never made sense to me either.
Yeah.
Well, chicken
just
and
food.
waffles always struck me as a peculiar thing for breakfast. I mean, I've never considered chicken breakfast food. 'Cause
Hold
I
on.
was-
You know what? I will say crepes for dinner. That's kind of odd. You are an odd person.
Oh, it
those
depends
are
on what
just
you're doing with
Fancy
crepes.
ass pancakes.
This might be because I'm not big on society rules, but I never saw a point in food being determined for. Like my ex-husband threw a fit one time because he dropped the girls off at our house, and he came in with them for some reason, and Chris was making pancakes for lunch because he knew the kids were coming home, and he threw a huge fit about having pancakes for lunch and how insane that is. And I'm just like, it's food, it's bacon and pancakes. Like, why does it matter what time of the day you make it? And he threw such a fit that Chris is like, fine, you want a grilled cheese? I'll make you a grilled cheese. And then, oh, by the way, my ex wanted to hate Chris so much, even though they were friends before we started dating. He ate a grilled cheese and he was just staring from the living room, all pathetic. And I'm like, "Do you want no grilled cheese?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "I don't know why but Chris makes the best grilled cheese on earth, and he doesn't really do anything different. But everyone loves his grilled cheese, even the man who wanted to hate him."
It is all about technique when it comes to grilled cheese, because the difference between an amazing grilled cheese and a shitty grilled cheese is just down to how they cook it.
It's literally just 2 pieces of white bread, butter, and American cheese, but for some reason, everybody loves it.
Yep. And it's probably because he cooks it just right, so you don't get any of the segments that are too dark. You don't get the bread not being quite the right texture that you want for that grilled cheese, because you want that light and fluffy on one side and that nice crunch on the other.
And he does it perfect every time.
Yep.
He's such a good cook.
That's why I use mayonnaise.
It is entirely a technique-based thing.
Yeah.
The difference between an amazing grilled cheese and a shit grilled cheese goes down to technique. You can dress it up in other ways. You can add different cheeses if you want, but doesn't matter if the person has the right technique. They can cook each of those so much better than a person that doesn't.
Sanguine.
Yep.
It sounds like you're cooking. Are you currently cooking right now, or?
Yes.
Oh.
I have chicken thighs that I just threw into the pan, skin side down after salting them. I need to throw a bit of salt on the back, but I have those going. Then I have my 2 sides already made. One's a quick slaw that is delicious and it's ready to go. The other is a fusion potato salad. It's German flavors with Japanese style.
Doing an axis of dinner tonight. This. What's the Italian part?
All I'm missing is the Italian, and technically, if I really wanted to, I could grab the tomatoes out of my refrigerator, throw them into a hot pan, do some charred tomatoes, throw those on.
Oh, no. On some of the potatoes that you're mashing to be along the lines of the Japanese, make them look like gnocchi.
Tojo would be proud.
Ding, 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 ding. Access complete.
Not why.
But yeah, that's going to be my dinner tonight, and then I'm trying to decide on which libation I'll have with it.
Oh, wait, actually, yeah, instead of Italianifying the chicken, you could just get a nice Italian wine.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue with that is my current wines are, I have a German orange wine, a French orange wine, a German white, and then another German white because I have a Riesling. Though, let me quickly double check what my brandy is.
Oh,
It's not going to be Italian. It's going to be French.
Well,
So that would be the Vichy element.
okay, well, hold on. And in terms of spices for the chicken, if you made one of the thighs,
and no, it is a German
Spanish
brandy.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wait, what did you say?
That is a conflict of terms.
Yeah.
I mean, German brandy.
It's a German brandy. It's a Asbach 8. That's one of them. I don't have the cockerel anymore. That one's a French, though, because that's Pierre.
I know, but it's brandy, and you say German brandy, and it's like, oh, God.
Look, we're trying to work with a theme here.
That's like Portuguese Pinot. It's, no. I mean, I know they can do it, but ew.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Doesn't
Sanguine.
it?
That sounds like a summation of talking about panda coupling. I know they can do it, but ew.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about pandas.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah.
I was just thinking about, a nation that brings you Armagnac having the appellation of brandy being attached to German
Yep.
is irritating.
I guess I'm not gonna be
It's
going
like
to.
Czechoslovakian sake.
I don't think I'm gonna be going to lunch at the sushi house that I was planning on tomorrow.
Oh, why not?
Oh, why not? Sushi's fantastic.
Oh, it is.
But yeah, so that's my dinner for the night. Like I said, I just need to decide which drink I'm going for. The wines that I mentioned are all possibilities, or I could do just a good beer
Yes.
and whiskey.
Do something from the Allies.
So access the meal while I allies the drink.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow. Okay, there you go. Cross the English Channel.
Though I could also be a bit interesting, and I can't get the Italian in, but I can get the other eye that wanted to side with the Nazis. I do have Irish beers.
No. Obviously, dude, if you're gonna do proper
Yeah. The one
allied
with the Nazis.
response to your plate full of Axis food, I would say a very strong whiskey, a good old American whiskey.
Yeah, no, he's more prone to go with Jameson just for the irony.
I mean, with a
Oh,
shot
like I
of Jameson,
said,
that's fine. They
if
did
I
their
was
part.
going to go for an Irish representative, I do have several Irish whiskeys, including I have my whiskey pig, which I've explained to you guys what a whiskey
Yes,
pig is before.
it's where
right?
you dump the leave-ins and,
There you go.
and,
There
and
you
let
go.
them brew.
Do
Yep.
a couple of shots, one for each of the lads, right? You got your Irish, you got your Canadian. Do the Brits have whiskey?
Yeah, well,
yes, unfortunately.
Well, they have. No, well, I mean, if you consider the fact that Scotland has been part of the United Kingdom since 17.
Yeah, I have scotches. I
Yeah.
have a Welsh whiskey. I
Yeah.
have American bourbons and whiskeys.
And
I have
we were colonials at one point.
American beers. But
But
again,
Canadian
I say when it
whiskey
comes...
is garbage. Just no Canadian whiskey. Sorry,
Whoa.
Ginty Maxie. Canadian
Whoa.
whiskey is trash.
Oh, yeah.
It's like low rent rye.
Do you know why it's so bad?
I don't. Well, yeah. Please tell me because it's terrible.
So when it comes to whiskeys, there's two things that smooth out the flavor of a whiskey. You have the number of distillations
Yes.
and the period of time aged.
Yes.
So Irish whiskeys, they're triple distilled. 3 years and a day is the youngest Irish whiskey that you'll find.
Right.
Scotches are double distilled. The youngest that you'll be able to find is about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Or 5 in a day
Yeah.
is the absolute youngest. American whiskeys are double distilled. 5 years and a day is the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. It's double distilled. 3 years and a day is the youngest.
3 years
for
in a
American.
day. Yeah. Well, yeah, because the corn mash.
Yep, because what the Americans did was they went, what if we distill like the Scots and we age like the Irish?
Well, yeah, and they were using a different grain, so.
Yep.
If only I can age like the Irish.
And then the Japanese, they decided to go for more of a Scotch style, but they cut down very slightly on the aging. So I think it's double distilled, but 4 in a day is
For
Japanese
their
whiskey.
For their whiskeys, yeah.
And then the Canadians went, what if we limbo under all those standards? So the youngest Canadian whiskey that you can find is 2 in a day.
Yeah.
They're double distilled, but spiked with single distilled.
Yes.
So you have a
1.5.
1.5 distillation
1.5 with 2 in a day.
with
So
2 in a day.
Yeah.
That's really
And-
catching it, huh?
Then they turned this into some sort of marker of pride because they have their length of finish. What the length of finish means is that you feel the whiskey on your lips, on the tip of your tongue, across the body of your tongue, down your tonsils, down your throat, into your stomach, and it burns the entire fucking way.
You know, actually, it wasn't the burn of Canadian. It was the happy taste of it.
Yeah, the taste was kind of.
Yeah.
That's from the single distillation spiking.
Yeah,
Because
it's
the
just
single distillation spiking has a lot of what they call flavoring alcohols,
yeah.
what most people refer to as contaminants.
And just thinking that that's what poor old Jim Leahy was drinking the entire time he was dealing with the Trailer Park Boys. I mean, oof.
But it's just it's a that you know what I mean by a happy tasting whiskey. It's
Yeah.
it fouls everything it's mixed with. It you know there's some bad scotches out there. I mean there are a lot of bad scotches out there. But I remember my mother one time saying, "Is this? Did they put Canadian or did they put Scotch in this whiskey sour?" And I was like, I have no idea. Because it's just not good. I said, you need to call your whiskey for your whiskey sour. If you're going to blend.
Oh, yeah, wells tend to be miserable.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, there's some wells that are really good. It just depends on like the restaurant and what their well is. But
if you go to a nicer place, it has a nicer well.
Well, this was not. This, trust me, was not Doers.
Yep.
And Doers is a decent blend. I mean, it's still a blended whiskey with no E, but it's. You know,
Doers
I mean, if you want to taste Scotch, drink single malt.
And for those who don't know, Doers is kind of at the same price point as a Jameson, a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But it has a more aggressive taste, shall we say?
Than Jameson's or
Than
more,
Jameson's.
Well, Scotch, I think by nature has a more aggressive taste than Irish whiskey.
It has a smokier taste that, if you consider the smokiness aggressive.
Yeah,
sure.
I think Scotch. A lot of people say Scotch tastes like medicine. You know, it falls in the category of the.
What fucking medicine do they have? And how?
I know. I mean, I swear to God. If only the medicine I had to take when I was a kid tasted like Scotch.
Yeah, if I could get a medicine that tastes like Lafroig, it would be really easy to get me to take my meds.
Lafroig, though, is so
Okay, but
easy.
if you're a kid and you're taking it for the first time and you don't know what the hell this taste is, that's whoa.
Yeah,
but nowadays it's like, yeah, give me that night juice.
A lot of the medicine I took, you know, if I think back, because in the 1960s for kids, most antibiotics were formulary syrups or pasty. I mean, they were liquids.
Yep.
They were very chalky.
Yeah.
Occasionally, they were just aggressive flavor. But most
it was the same way into the 90s. I remember distinctly when I was too young for being given pills.
Yeah, but having to take the liquids.
Oh, no. I remember when I was too young to be given pills, telling the doctor, give me the pills. I don't like the taste. I will not take it.
Yeah.
Them going, well, you'll choke. And I said, okay, I'm currently in a doctor's office. Give me the pills. Let's see if I choke.
Yeah, I had to prove to the doctor that my kids could take pills as toddlers because they flat out refused to do any syrups. They still won't to this day.
Yeah,
Like,
and some of them, hun, and when I was young, were more creams than syrups.
like they will bite you, fist fight you. Like we've literally had to hold because we couldn't get meds in some pill forms. So you like it took 3 people holding them down and forcing it.
Yeah.
Like, it was borderline abuse trying to get them to take syrup. So I literally had to take them in the pediatrician office, um, get like just a pill like a Benadryl or something that won't hurt them, and show the doctor them taking it because Willow learned at 2 and Angel learned at 3 because they did not want to. I was like, if you learn how to do this without dying, the doctors won't make you do syrups.
Was there any alternative to the syrups?
When I
Uh,
was
and
young,
pill, or
no.
Learn not to choke.
well, I mean, because Poppy, your children aren't that old, so this is a more recent.
22 and 18.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Um, but I mean, not like from where Sanguine,
Yeah.
Prospero, and I are sitting.
Yeah, but
For
you've got to.
most,
I'm 66 years old, so
Yeah,
I'm
and
a
yeah.
hell of a lot older than you.
and I am 64 years old, so
No,
I
you're
mean,
not.
is
His age changes every fucking stream.
No, I know roughly how old he is.
I am once again,
so
as is fairly common, the youngest person on stream.
Yes, you
despite
are.
what people like to think.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
nobody thinks that you're the youngest.
Yeah.
But there was no alternative.
So it was literally just the syrup or pills, and the syrup was the only thing that you like. Obviously, the only
There were
thing
no
you could give
pills
the
for
little
kids when I was
children.
young, honey.
Oh, there weren't pills for kids when I was growing up either. Like I said,
Yes, but you were growing up in the 90s, you
Yes, I know.
and
Which
not the
I'm-
60s.
I know. Which I'm saying that from the 60s to at least the 90s, there were no pills for children.
Right. Yeah, it was
It was-
nasty. Amoxicillin was a chalky yellow.
They couldn't crush the pill into a paste or something and have you drink it with yogurt or something.
It changes the.
They did have pills in the
Efficacy.
60s, and I will tell you what happened to me, Adam.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I had finally transitioned to
It
taking.
was a suppository.
Oh no.
Been there, done that. This is not the story, though.
Oh
Oh no, I remember the thermometer up my ass.
yeah, I didn't let people do that shit. Mm-mm.
But I remember it when I was like 3, 4, because it's a very peculiar sensation. Penicillin was in tablet form. I was in like fifth grade, I think. So that may have been 1968 or 9. And I had finally graduated to taking pills, except they made penicillin pills. If you take your average computer mouse, you could fit maybe 5 or 6 penicillin pills down the length of the mouse. They were quite large. And you used to have to take 2 for your dose. And I had left the house and gone to the bus stop, and I had forgotten to take my morning dose of penicillin. Enter my father. Down the road comes the 1964 Plymouth Valiant with my father in it, who hangs out the window and goes, "You forgot to take your penicillin." And he hands me 2 tablets. 3/4 of an inch long. And nothing to take them with.
Yep.
I never forgot to take my tablets before I left home again. I had to chew those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Oh my
No.
God, they were so bitter, Poppy. It was
Yeah, I believe you. I've accidentally bitten into
horrible.
stuff. One of my weird things is occasionally when I put stuff in my mouth just reacts. So like I'll swallow without meaning to, or it'll bite down without me meaning to.
Yep.
So like it's like just a reaction. And yeah, I've bitten down on antibiotics before. Oh,
My dad was like, try to dry swallow them. And I'm like, I can't produce enough saliva to get that down my throat. I mean, I could a pill half that size. I mean, I've dry swallowed lots of pills, but I could not something that size. So after I tried to dry swallow and gagged it back up, I had to chew the fucker.
Mm-hmm.
I got to school, I was like, water fountain now. I mean, it you know, and I did, even as a kid, I didn't like water fountains, particularly because I watched my fellow small humans shove their mouths all over the water fountain.
Also, it was really difficult not to make a joke there, just to let you know.
oh Lord.
Could you not go Urban Dictionary just once in your life?
It was an Urban Dictionary. It's a time period joke.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I think I would have preferred somebody peeing in my mouth to having to try to dry swallow penicillin tablets. It was you know, when you're 4th grade, 5th grade, it's a hard call. It was horrible.
When my kids were younger, no, I mean, honestly, when it comes to like antibiotics and stuff, there's not a lot of options. There's a syrup, which I don't know about why Sanguine had such a hard time. When I was a kid, syrups were so great. We had the bubble gum and like chocolate cough syrup and shit.
Because they all taste like medicine.
I like the bubblegum one or the fruit punch one, and we had like straight up chocolate syrup as cough syrup, which that's all, they don't do that anymore because kids were like chugging them. But
yeah, but the thing is that the chocolate flavored ones tasted like chocolate penicillin. The cherry flavored ones tasted like cherry penicillin.
Yes.
The orange tasted
Sanguine
like
has
orange penicillin.
Sanguine has a overdefined sense of
palate.
taste. Yeah.
Yes.
And
I mean, I have a very strong sense of taste and smell. It's just I had a lot worse going on, so I was just like, yeah, it's better than the without the flavorings.
Oh, I had it without. I had it with. It was god awful both ways.
But it's true, Poppy. You know, when it comes to what sucks the most, you form a hierarchy. And this doesn't suck that bad.
Because my family would straight up tell me, we will make you just chug the regular plain stuff unless you just do this. And I'm just like, okay, this is a little better.
See, my mentality was I'd rather choke to death. Let me try pills.
So has any of you ever tried the old Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down?
It doesn't.
No, they put put enough sugar in that shit that I was taking that it was they certainly didn't incorporate in the penicillin that I had to chew. But
well, probably wouldn't help with the penicillin.
Trying to figure out
a spoonful of sugar would have helped there.
Trying to figure out the amount of sugar that would have required in order for it to help the medicine.
You'd have diabetes.
I would have had childhood diabetes.
Yeah,
8 years old with the diabetes.
Yeah,
and all my teeth would have rotten out of my head.
There were some syrups that were not milky. They were more clear, but they were not. I mean, they were medicine flavored.
Yep.
I mean, I can't. I'm sure Skep would be like, okay, that was tetracycline. That was blah blah. I mean, I don't recall. I remember I took a lot of ampicillin, which was like So you'd think it was banana flavored because it was
Yeah.
thick and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Instead, it was just bitter death.
Yeah, it was just bigger gross, and I'm sure. I mean, my God, if my mother were alive, she'd probably be like, "You screamed every time I got it out of the pot." You know, I mean, I remember I took it. It was never. I don't remember ever being held down and having it forced down my throat. But you know, they only
My kids
had
were violent. We kind of had to.
yeah, but they only had me. You got to remember, I was the only child, so it was kind of easy because Dad could have probably looked at me because he was my best buddy, and said, "I'll be pretty disappointed if you can't take this," you know.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, "Give me the whole bottle,"
No.
you know.
Did have I ever told y'all about Willow getting shots when she was very small?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I was very young. They were very young. We were not doing well financially, so we went to this free clinic for shots. And the first time we were there, she was about 2 years old. They did not believe me. I crossed my arms and put her in my lap and like held her down. And they're like, "You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that." And the woman's like, "Stop it." And they were looking at me like I was evil. I said, "Okay,"
Mhm.
put my hands in the air. First thing, they leaned in to put the shot in her arm. She headbutt the woman in her face, broke her nose, and busted her lip, and her teeth were all. And I was like, "You want me to hold her arm down now?" And they were like,
Mhm.
another nurse came in and was like, "Okay, you do whatever you normally do." And I'm like, "Okay." I crossed my leg over her legs and I held her down and held her forehead with my chin, and they gave her the shot and they're like, "Okay, so we're putting that in her notes." They're like, "Is there a reason she's excessively violent?" And I'm like, "Only if she's scared of you and you're putting a needle towards her." She's really freaked out by needles, and she will think you're trying to murder her, and she will try to murder you back. And
The
Yeah,
I was
pointy
like,
end of the needles pointed towards her. Yes.
yeah. Sanguine has experience with legal violence, so
Oh yeah, I've thrown a doctor.
it's a thing. I mean,
luckily, luckily, Willow got better as she got older. But yeah, when she was very small, we could not convince her the doctor wasn't trying to murder her.
Have you not heard the throwing a doctor story, Poppy?
No, but I believe you.
Yeah, I was in 11th grade. I had tendonitis bursitis. Oh no, sorry, it was 10th grade. I had tendonitis bursitis and impingement syndrome all at the same time in my left shoulder.
That was a lot of
So-
words I barely caught, but okay.
Tendonitis is swelling of the tendons. Bursitis is swelling of the bursa sacs.
You just said it so
Impingement-
fast.
yeah,
Impingement syndrome is all the bones of my shoulder were too close together, which caused it so that if anything were to swell within my shoulder, the best case scenario was it would force my arm out of the socket, relieving the pressure. The worst case scenario was it would lock my arm into the socket and pinch off first blood flow and then nerves leading to that arm.
yeah. Then you'd have to have shoulder replacement surgery.
So, again, I had two forms of swelling with this bone condition.
Yeah,
So, it was very uncomfortable.
imagine so.
And my arm was more prone towards getting locked in than being popped out, which caused issues. So, went to the doc to figure out what could be done about my arm. And they tell me that, oh, yeah, tendonitis bursitis and impingement syndrome. And they explain what each of those are. And I say, okay. And I ask, so is this something that has to be done with surgery? Or is there a treatment? And they go, oh, there's a treatment. In fact, we'll be able to get a good chunk of that treatment done today. So I had told the doctor early on that I was afraid of needles, terrified of them. He had said okay. I'd told him that if I need to get any sort of injection, give me a warning, give me a moment, I'll tell you when I'm ready, and I'll be good to go. He said okay. So he left the office after saying that there was a treatment and that it could be done, or a good part of it could be done today. Disappears for a few moments. I was still in high school and I just had my mom come back that way when I was waiting for the doc. It was through the military system. I would actually have someone to talk to. So I'm just talking to my mom. Doctor comes back in. Big ass needle in one hand. Doesn't say a fucking word to me. Doesn't warn me. Walks up with one hand, lifts my sleeve, swabs the section of the shoulder that he's about to shove the needle in with an alcohol prep pad that was in that hand, and then in goes the needle.
Nope.
I'm terrified of needles. My immediate response is my hand jerks, and then I realize there's a needle in my arm. Stop. So I stopped. Just completely riding out the panic going through my mind and waiting for the needle to leave my arm. The treatment for tendonitis and bursitis is a cortisone injection. Have any of you ever had a cortisone injection?
Yep.
Yeah.
So then you know it feels like someone's trying to inject thickened honey into you.
No, it's like thickened honey on fire.
Yep. So feel this weird kind of webbing out of this substance that is slowly being pushed into my shoulder.
On fire.
It feels fucking weird.
It's just fire. It's kind of you can break it down into increments. It's more like fire.
So had that happen, and then I feel it stop expanding out from the plunger, and the needle leaves my arm. The moment that the needle is completely out of my arm, the hand that I had caught before I did anything slams forward, hits the doctor in the gut, and I toss this, I think he was an Air Force doc, from the foot of the examination table next to me where I was sitting, all the way into the door. He hits the door, rattles the hinges, and falls down at the base of the door. He's in the
You
military.
warned him.
He surges up to his feet, pissed off. I'm still dealing with the fact that I told someone I'm fucking terrified of needles, and they stabbed me with a needle without any sort of to-do. So I surge up to my feet, ready for a fucking fight. My mom is just laughing her ass off in the chair off to the side.
Was she already full rank at that point?
Yeah, she was at the rank that she retired at.
Okay. Yeah, because it didn't matter. She could stand there. She could have laughed. She could have shot that fucker, and nobody would have touched her.
Yep. So he's looking like he's about to take a swing at me, and I'm looking like I'm about to give a far better go of it than I got. And she looks over at him and says, before you do anything, couple things. First off, he told you he was scared of needles. He told you to tell him if he needed to get a shot because he needs to calm himself down beforehand. You didn't. Second off, he's in here for his left shoulder being treated. Do you remember which hand just hit you? He has his other hand.
Your mom's awesome. Your mom is just like the greatest.
The doc glared at me for a bit longer. I glared at him for a bit longer. The doc left the fucking office. We sat down for a few moments, wondering if there was anything more. After a few moments, realized there wasn't, left as well.
Your
Yeah.
mom, your mom could have had him sent to Barrow,
Oh, yeah.
and he knew it.
So many like nurses and doctors and stuff think like if you're terrified of needles, the best thing to do is to surprise you. And that's it's a bad idea for a lot of cases. Like we had that, of course, not as grandiose as yours, but Willow had some bad reactions because people would try to do that. Even because I told you as she got older, she got better, but she still, like you, she needed warning.
Yeah.
She needed to prep herself.
Yeah, you give me warning. I
think
get
most
myself
sane
ready.
people prefer that.
Yeah, I get myself ready, and I go, okay, I'm about to get stabbed with a needle. Breathe.
It's okay.
Breathe. Go.
Yo,
And then I can take the needle.
I get that too, but because I got tattoos all on my arms, they sit there and be like, "Oh, but you have all these tattoos." I'm like, "Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's different." Like, and especially after doing tattoos, like I know you're actually going in to a vein and you're drawing blood or you're fucking you're doing something. That's not just going into a little skin. Yeah,
it's
Yeah, it's not the
still don't
same.
like it.
It's not surface skin dying.
Yeah, well,
It's-
And also,
that's why I
like,
don't do tattoos because it trips me out.
Yeah.
Needles in the
And-
skin is weird.
yeah, and also tattoos are very different than, because you get a reward at the end. Like you have the cool tattoo, you're doing it for a reason. And I understand like your brain knows that you're getting shots for a reason, but it's not the same. Like you can't physically look down and go, oh, look, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
No,
and-
but
and
it's just the way that they go about it. They're like, but you got all these tattoos. And it's like,
yeah, because
you don't have
but
to fucking.
that's not the same because some
Yeah.
shots, some shots like what Sanguine was getting, some shots are aimed in the joint, which is an entirely different
Oh yeah,
ball
fuck
game.
that.
That is like, oh Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Some are around like nerve clusters, and that they wiggle the needle till you go Jesus Christ, and they're like, okay, good, I'm in the right place, and inject.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Well, honest to God, to some extent, they need the patient to react. They need them to go, okay, yes, now I am where I wanted the needle to be.
No, I
Oh.
get that.
It can be difficult because there are areas of inflammation that you could shoot near it, but not like right where you want it to be. And sometimes that means you need the patient's cooperation to deal with you're wiggling the goddamn needle around until they go fire.
Not only that, but some people experience pain thresholds and different
Yes.
so, so they could be hitting the mark, but the patient might not exhibit any sort of
Usually with nerve pain, I bet most people
you'd
go,
hope.
yeah, unless they have incredible neuropathy.
Yeah, well,
Or you can hit nerves in ways that should work for the vast majority of people that don't if someone's a deadhead.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
But overall,
It's fucking.
I want somebody to tell me, okay, I've got to put the needle in the joint, and I'm going to have to wriggle it around, and I'm going to need you to tell me, okay, that's uncomfortable. Yeah, that's a little bit more, oh, sweet Jesus, and then they can deliver the cortisone. I had it done in my big toe. And the doc was like, he checked and made sure it wasn't gout. And he said, I don't know, you might have a bone fragment in there, but something is causing that, the base of the big toe joint, where you normally get a bunion to hurt. This was years ago. It's the only time I have ever yelled like this in a doctor's office. He went in with a needle. He began moving it around. And then suddenly, the world was on fire behind my eyes. I literally lifted myself out of the chair with my arms and screamed, "God damn it!" And he went, "Ha ha, got it." Because he was a lunatic. I mean, he was a great guy, but he went, "Ha ha, got it." And he pressed the plunger. And I was like, I don't know what to say. I apologize for swearing because I know the waiting room heard it. And he had a lot of older female, I mean, he was my mom's podiatrist. So I had just taken the Lord's name in vain in front of a whole lot of little old ladies. I just kind of waltzed out,
A lot of the old holy rollers.
Yeah, I don't know if they were holy rollers, but I felt.
I'm just referring to them in their wheelchair and
Oh
going
yeah,
to church constantly.
Yeah, they weren't that bad. This would have been. They would have been in theirs. My mother's
Some
peer
walkers
group
have wheels.
would have been my age at that point, because I was in my 20s when this happened. But oh Christ.
Yeah. Oh, hey, guess which one they decided to surprise Willow with when she was a little older?
Hmm?
Tetanus shot.
Oh no.
Hey. And by the way, Willow Sanguine does not have the same restraint you did when it was like, don't move while the needle's in the arm. They stuck it in.
The only reason why I was able to assert that sort of control over myself was I knew that if I did do anything, it was going to be full force with that arm from where I was. So that needle would have broken off in my arm. And as much as needles scare the shit out of me, I don't want a broken needle in my shoulder.
Yeah, they were prepping her, and she was talking to me because she tries not to look when they're doing it, but they're still supposed to tell her, like, you know, okay, we're about to do it. 1, 2, 3, and she takes a breath, and they do it. No, she was talking to me, and the next thing I see, the doctor just plunged it in without saying anything. And her arm shot up. She hit him. She started running around the room. There was blood because the needle ripped, and it was just, and oh yeah, I got that one in trouble because I was like, no. You were specifically told what you need to do. And he was like, well, I didn't know she would react like this. And I'm like, well, you're still better off than the last nurse that just tried to do it without any warning. Yeah, but
one of the things, and I get why they do it sometimes, but a lot of doctors will hear what a patient says and then think, well,
I know better.
I know better than that.
Yeah.
And it's caused me problems because I've told doctors, hey, you're about to use this nerve block on me, right? Yep. It doesn't work on me. Which I get why they don't pay attention to that, because they're going, well, that sounds like drug-seeking behavior.
Yep.
You're trying to force me to give you a narcotic rather than just using the nerve block.
Yeah, except it will not work on me. You know?
Yeah, except it doesn't work on me, and I've had a finger stitched back up after just going, I'm not looking for drugs. Here, just stitch up the finger. Just stop stabbing me with that needle and give me the stitches.
Yeah, my kids have done getting their cavities filled without any of the shots or anything because they would rather do that than we also have an issue of with the connective tissues shit we have in our family. Lidocaine and stuff like that doesn't, like, it'll work for a few minutes or like a minute and then it's gone. And the doctors never believe us on that until like they're mid drilling and then we start making faces.
Yep.
And we're like, because they're just like, wait, can you feel that? Yes, I told you.
Yeah. I've told you guys about my waking up as the foot of my bed hits the OR door story before. And that's, again, something that they don't believe me when I say, by the way, this will burn out of my system. a lot faster than you think it will.
Uh-huh.
And again, it sounds like something that could be drug-seeking behavior. When no, it's just my body tends to go, oh, this is an interesting chemical. Get rid of it.
Well, see, that is the zero tolerance thing. Where it's stupid. Because, yes, there have been drug seekers who've gotten pap from doctors who just can't be fucked to care. It happens. Docs let themselves be drug shopped. It's unfortunate. I can understand how it can happen. But if you tell someone, I'm sorry, your nerve block does not work.
Mm-hmm.
And I have testimonials. I guess the safest thing is to always get the testimonials, so to speak, to get the report and take it and hand it to them and go, I don't want oxycodone. I actually hate oxycodone. I would, however, like a nerve block that works.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have one, I would like you to knock me out. Those are your choices. You can't fanny around with, oh, maybe this will work, that'll work. It's difficult, and I understand where it comes from because I had a dentist hit me with cauterization doing a crown without warning. He didn't tell me he was going to do it. It's just all of a sudden, my back right jaw lit up in flames. And I responded like most people do with like coming halfway out of the seat. And I went, and he said, I've never determined whether it's better to tell people. Because he said they will tense up and occasionally their jaws will tighten up so much. My ability to reach where I need to cauterize is compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Or let them know. And I said, in future, file it away. Let me know. I'll relax my mouth wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I will know this is coming. It will be unpleasant. It'll be this sharp kind of electrical pain. And then it will go away. Because it does. I mean, it's a bright shot of pain followed by nothing.
Mm-hmm.
With cautery. And it's not even pain. It's however you would apply bright light to an injury.
Mm-hmm.
But it carries with it, there's a feeling, but it's not quite the same as like if you sliced your finger open with a knife. It's very different. It's just very bright, very sudden, and then it's over.
It's intense and searing, and then it disappears almost immediately because what happens is that the nerve that picks up the ow immediately gets burnt out.
Yeah, it got cauterized along with the blood vessels.
But you still get that immediate ow, and
it isn't even ow. It's like if bright white light could be defined as pain. It's which it can be if you're having fundus photography. I agreed to be a guinea pig years ago in ophthalmology. They would dilate you and use a very bright light to photograph your fundus.
Mm-hmm.
And that light, it's not, it is pain and it isn't pain. Because it's not there long enough for the full processing of pain to occur. But
It
I
is
agreed.
what
Man, I
would
agreed to
become
do it
pain
for
if
an.
it lasted long enough.
Yeah. Oh God, it would have been pain. It was discomfort, is what it was. Best I could describe it. But the nurses that were being trained on doing fundus photography needed guinea pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, fine, you can't dilate both my eyes because there's nobody who would replace me this afternoon. And so I looked like a fucking husky.
Mm-hmm.
I had one pupil completely blown. So it looked like I had one brown eye, one blue-gray eye.
Mm-hmm.
Just to help them. And after that, I was like, don't ever ask me to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Because that kind of light, your retina doesn't exactly feel pain, but your brain translates the insult to pain.
Yeah, I have a unique curvature to my eye that allows more light in than it should. I'm well familiar with the pain of bright light.
Do you have keratoconus?
I can't remember what it is. I remember the explanation. I was told this when I was really little. And it's due to the way that my eye is shaped. It lets in more light than it should.
Yeah.
Also, the iris...
Photophobia is a sign of keratoconus.
Yep, the iris also contracts more slowly.
Oh, so more light gets in before it.
So it lets in more light, and more light gets in for a longer period of time than it should. Well, it retracts quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I go from a fairly normal lit or even brightly lit room to one that is almost pitch black. Give me half a beat and I can see.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's going from someplace
dark to very
standard lighting,
to very bright,
outside on summer, my vision whites out.
Yeah, mine does that.
Revenge of the Mole People is what I call it.
I was gonna say lights hurt me.
Yeah, my vision completely whites out. It's like,
but it's a weird hurt
without a bang.
It's a hurt that isn't the same as like cutting yourself hurt.
Yeah,
it's almost your brain is perceiving the insult as pain, but it's not pain the same way as cutting yourself pain. So it's not nerve pain. It's like kind of almost.
Well, to be more accurate, it's fuck you, son.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Mine might be a slightly different since in my bad eye, like my retina does tear every single time. Like if there's like how do I explain it? Like if there's a really bright light, like my retina can't, like when I don't know why, but it does detach more. I know there's not really nerves in your eyeball though, so I don't know.
No.
That actually does anything.
That's peculiar that light would cause your retina to detach.
I don't know why it does.
That is a pressure change in your eye or something.
Yeah, I have no idea why it does. They've just noticed it.
Yeah.
Because when we were in the doctor's office and they were checking my eyes, I obviously had to go to a retina specialist several times. And they would do the really bright light in the eye. There was a couple times I yelped and they looked and they're like, "Oh, your eye has blood in it. This is not okay." I'm like, "Hi."
Yeah.
I don't know how to react.
It's a pressure change is my guess. Either
as well.
Yeah, it's in the the pressure has got to be causing the artery to leak.
Yeah, because
or it might also be
A vein.
a
maybe, but-
spasming of the muscles that control the moving of the eye.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's
if
what
you
one
had
doctor said.
all
But
of them spasm at the same time, it could momentarily deform the eye.
yeah, and cause a vein or an artery to leak.
Yep,
So the
or
only thing the
cause-
doctors could come up with was I have really bad astigmatisms. Like the one that's the retina's detaching is shaped like a football, except pointier.
That sounds
And
like
they were like,
keratoconus. It's
and
a misshapen cornea.
yeah, like it is very
Also
my eyeballs.
the starburst when you look at
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
for a while.
Sounds like you have
Oh,
a
okay.
similar thing. What
I understand what you're talking about.
And yeah, so the eyeball's very weird. Anyway, so you add that with how sensitive I already am to lights, and especially sunlight and or any bright lights. Their theory is like because my eye's trying to react so hard, like it is tearing away, which I don't know because everyone in my family was asking like what happened because the people who had detached retinas either had a disease or they got like hit in the head real hard or something. And for me, it happens slowly over time, which doctors love. They love to try to poke at, like I call it, they like to poke it with sticks. Because every time I see a new doctor, they're like, this is so weird. Because, like I said, mine, apparently it started with a teeny tiny rip and the fluid got under it and it just kept going.
Yeah, it will.
This
That's
is weird.
that's
Can
how
I try this?
That's actually how retinas detach in a lot of cases. There's a small insult followed by another small insult, and because I worked for ophthalmologists for a while, and just like paying attention to well, if you get this and the fluid gets under that, and then it'll push the whole thing away. and unfortunately, the success of reattaching retinas has become,
it's not good.
no, it actually has become pretty fucking good compared to what it was.
Well, yeah, probably.
I mean,
But
it was not great. I mean, look, it was decent in the 1980s, Poppy.
Yeah.
They were having pretty decent success in pushing back against full retinal detachment and blindness resulting. So it's improved. It's not great for somebody who has sun allergy and photophobia the way you do.
Well, it also the issue. Well, what happened was because mine did it so slowly. My body's very big on scar tissue. It loves scar tissue.
Yeah,
we have so much. So what happened was my eye filled up with it, and it like pinned in some of my retina. So that's why I say like I'm pretty much blind in this eye because even what I can make out doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like if I close my good eye, like I can see some colors, but it looks like there's a black cloud floating around the small little circle I can see in. So if I had to try to just go off of that eye and like something happened to my good eye, I wouldn't see shit. I see a little bit of light and a little bit of color. That's it.
That just reminded me of a word that has mostly fallen out of usage, that at least when it comes to people, that I think should be brought back because I love the phrase proud flesh. It's
proud flesh.
Yep, proud flesh. It's still used in veterinary practices. But it's when you have a wound and it isn't scarring over and isn't healing back up, but there's a thickened section of tissue that is actually preventing it from being able to be stitched back together or mend normally.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
It's called proud flesh.
Yeah.
People can get that as well.
Flesh that won't allow for full healing, actually.
Yeah. So when they try to describe the surgery to me, the doctor made the mistake of going very into detail and drawing pictures. And he's like, you'll need 3 or 4 of these, and you'll probably get some cataracts several times, and we'll have to do surgeries for those, and we'll put a band around your eye because they would have to cut open my eye to get all the scar tissue out. And
Yeah.
it was all the, it was very, very complicated with pictures.
And it
I
definitely
was just like,
sounds like what he's referring to is proud flesh, because
Yeah.
in order for a wound to be treated when it has proud flesh, you have to cut away the proud flesh in order to treat the wound.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Poppy, instead of being angry at him, give him credit for recognizing your intelligence.
Yeah, but I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this because, like, he was like, well, we'll go through Parkland, which is the public hospital here, and he was like, it'll probably be about $50,000 for each surgery, and you'll have to be laying on one side after the surgery for a while because your eye might pop out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this. Just to be fair, like, I know there are retina surgeries that are more straightforward and probably go a lot smoother.
Like
just the way mine.
Like lots of them. You're just unique.
But doctors love me every time I go see the ophthalmologist. They're just like, can I look at the bad eye? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, because it's a learning experience for them because, I mean, if you ought to email him, Rand Paul, and ask him.
Yeah, because I warned them.
If you really, seriously, email Rand Paul and say, anybody want to do this for free?
Yeah, you might find somebody.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he does a lot of eye surgeries for free. He's not a retinal specialist, but he may have one amongst his cadre.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, with it being something that everyone wants to take a look at.
Yes.
What you might be able to do is, rather than paying for it,
teaching
or
hospital,
paying as much, find a good teaching hospital.
Yeah.
Approach them, go, hey, I have this very specific weirdness. If you give me the surgery, I'll allow you to use my surgery as teaching material.
Honestly, we actually, if I could have got the money up to get a good prosthetic, we actually had one doctor that was willing to take the eye out for free if, well, not for free, but like very discounted. Because, you got to do the hospital room, like surgery room and all that shit. But like, he wasn't going to charge me as long as he could keep the eye after. Like, if he could go play with it and I wouldn't be upset with it. And
Yeah,
I was like,
love how strange doctors are. This is one of the things that is always amazing.
Let me enucleate you and then play with your eye. As opposed to...
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I'll cut it open or just keep it in a jar. And I'm like, you could do either. That's fine.
Yeah, but what's funny is you had people who were actually talking about seeing if they could. Prior to enucleation, repair the eye. Now, I have a tiny bit more respect for them than I do for Captain. Pop it up, put it in a jar.
Well, that's my decision. I don't want to go through all the surgeries and stuff, to be honest. And I've gotten so used to not seeing on that side that it would probably freak my brain out. Because you got to remember, this started when I was like 20, then I'm 40 now.
And so that one doctor does have a beautiful jar of eyes.
Yeah.
So I had already decided, like, I don't want to go through, 4 to 5 surgeries just on the eye and then, cataract surgery over and over. So I was just kind of like, let's get the eye out and just put a prosthetic in. But, so far that hasn't worked out either. But that's still the plan one day. Just get a fake eye, which I'm fine with.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw somebody regarding the surgery?
God.
Or multiple surgeries with the lying on one side bullshit.
How long ago was that?
Because surgical practices change rather quickly.
Oh, God. In
that's true.
In ophthalmology, pretty much by the minute.
Let's
ophthalmology has changed, I'd say 100-fold since I first encountered it.
Probably about 8 years ago, honestly. Now time flies by really fast.
Yeah,
It was
I'd
back
have-
when we lived in the house, so about 8 years ago.
Might
I'd
be
have it-
fairly well served if you get checked out again.
Yeah, just another evaluation. That's basically it. Let them see if there's something else out there that you don't know about.
Yeah.
Just cause, Poppy. Because there might be somebody out there who, I mean, I worked for a doctor that went to China to teach the Chinese how to do interocular lenses back when they were the new thing in cataract surgery, where you put a new lens in. And that's outpatient surgery now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's so common that it's like flypaper. I mean,
that is a new. Sorry.
No, that's all.
Oh, no, I was going to say that is a new development the last time I went to the eye doctor to get new glasses. Apparently, my bad eye does have a cataract now. No, I was like, oh, that's new. Like, as I went a long time the last time without changing my prescription. I didn't need to, but I just got new glasses this year. Or no, last August for my birthday. We got.
It's slightly hard to be concerned when you're told that your bad eye that's going blind, it's going blind.
Yeah, it's like it's going blinder. You're like, okay. Yeah. Like if it was my good eye, I think I would.
2 ways.
Yeah, but
I would have been more freaked out about the good eye, of course. But well, good eye for me. Like it's still not a great eye. My prescription's negative 8.5 on that eye, so it's still not great. But
that's impressive. Well, it doesn't. I mean, given your age,
yeah,
no insult intended, and the nature of that eye, it doesn't surprise me that it has a cataract.
Yeah, that was just new. I hadn't been to the doctor in like 4 years, and they're like, "Oh, and you have this cataract here. Let me write that down." And I'm like, "What?"
Well, did they say you have this cataract that needs to be removed, or you have this cataract?
No, considering what eye it's on, I don't think even if it was bad, they would. They're just like, "Oh yeah," they're just writing down notes on it.
I'd be curious as to how ripe it was, because.
I think she said it was fairly. It looks like it's fairly new, like just starting.
Okay, just starting. That would make sense. My husband. Oh God, I think it was before he was 50. They were like, "You have beginnings of a cataract in this eye," and he's 68, and they still haven't removed a cataract.
Yeah.
So they begin to show up, because it's what the eye does. It's oddly enough, cataracts are in a way the way the eye protects itself. Well, the thickening and yellowing of the lens, as opposed to the completely thinning and disappearing of the lens, which would allow the sun to burn your retina to a crisp.
That is, you know, a compelling topic. But what I want to inquire is, how did Sanguine come up with the title?
Yeah,
they want to talk about the Tomboys.
Yeah.
Taste and Tomboys. What's that?
And finally, an hour in, we go to the topic at hand.
Well, I'm just surprised you had that
Thank
much
you, Adam.
on. Well, I mean, it served a dual purpose, because I was able to enjoy a nice small meal of sliced cheese and sliced meats, and
Haha, feral raccooning.
it wasn't on.
Well, it was either charcuterie, or if he includes random shit in it, then it becomes feral raccooning.
Well, there were
around
some
the
pickles.
charcuterie.
Look, some pickles
Mm.
were included only because they were cool with us, and we said, "Hey, dude, yeah, you can hang with us." It wasn't sweet pickles; it was dill pickles.
I
And
love
then
pickles.
we did have some. Uh, I don't even know what they're called. They're those peppers you get when you get a pizza.
Where did you meet Tommy's younger brother?
Wh-
And your
What?
Which pep- okay,
Rugrats joke.
Mhm.
which peppers when you get a pizza? Because
Yeah,
there's
what are those peppers?
There's like
green pepper,
some
bell pepper,
They're not sport peppers.
banana peppers.
Yeah, they
banana
could be
pepper.
banana pepper.
They
What
could
Whatever they are, and I got those and I
they could
sliced
be
them up.
peppadood peppers. I mean, they
are
could be.
they? Yellow and long?
No,
Yellow and
definitely not
short.
yellow peppers.
Are
Okay,
they
not
green?
Describe them.
Yeah, they're green,
Light green or dark green?
light green.
Pepperoncini?
Peppercini, probably.
That's
Yeah,
what I was trying to think of the word for that.
the other one is jalapeno. Yeah, I know a jalapeno when I see a jalapeno.
Jalapeno or darker green.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini or
A
yellow.
little bit slimmer.
or like a
Peppercinis,
yellow
those are like
green.
puffy peppers.
Okay, we're
no,
supposed to
yeah.
talk about Tomboys.
Yellow green.
Yeah, so I had a whole
But-
bunch of those
Fresno
sliced up
or
with
Fresno
some
or
cheese and
pepperoncini.
some olives and some salamis. And yeah, so I was sitting there as you
You've
guys
been
were
eating pizza while we've been talking.
yeah, the whole time you guys were talking, I was sitting there enjoying
Why
a
didn't
little-
you send one to my house?
Well,
you
unfortunately, we don't have
rotten
the
friend?
technology. Uh,
You're a rotten friend. You know,
We-
Fran. You
We
know,
took a
send
big
me
on a
pizza.
subject.
Prosby, I tell you this, Prosby, in the near future, you and I are going to be lounging on a cot and separate
No,
cots,
we are not going to be lounging on a cot.
separate cots, and we're going to be indulging in some sliced cheeses, salamis.
Oh God, we are so bad about being on a subject.
Do you mean a chaise lounge?
I
And
think
we're
he
going to be
means
in.
a
No,
chaise
yeah.
lounge. We'll be
Yeah, come on. I'm
lounging.
not.
Are we by the
I'm-
beach, Adam? Tell me we're
No,
by the beach.
no,
Oh,
you know
shit.
my name, or my mind is on Roman.
What is happening?
Wow. Yeah. Because
But on
shook me
Tomboys
up
and
with the
Taste,
whole thing.
or
No.
on Taste and Tomboys. Taste
If
is
I'm lounging with anybody,
Oh my
there
God.
better be by the goddamn beach.
It's not. Well,
I'm that much of a tomboy, buddy.
it
Taste
was
has
relevant
two
with
aspects
Tomboy.
to it.
Oh,
First
no.
off, it's Friday, and when am I on stream and food doesn't get discussed? So that's one aspect. Also, taste in people, which leads to the Tomboy. So there was a bit of X drama, Twitter drama, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where
Fucketry.
a I want to say Persian woman decided to try to have a go at a Southern tomboy, saying that if you're interested in tomboys, you're secretly gay. Which, what the fuck? That's not how that works. Also, it was settled long ago. Being interested in tomboys is the least gay option because, first off, female body, not gay, good start. Second off, what are their interests? Well, they're tomboys, so they have fairly masculine interests. So their interests aren't even gay. It's golden. Go for it. It's the least gay option. The most gay option is to go for twinks, because not only are they male bodies, but then they also have the feminine interest, which just makes it really fucking gay.
Nah.
But
Sorry. That's just. That's how you said it.
yes. But then the gist was there was a rather attractive woman who is Southern, again, tomboy, who was showing out a property that she had been fixing up. And she was talking about the work that she had done. How it's taken a lot of effort to get to the point where they are, but it's been really fun, really interesting. And she's kind of geeking out about the work that she's done. Again, attractive girl geeking out. That's nice. Then the Iranian, I think they're Iranian. I know that I want to say that they're Persian. And most Persians are Iranian. But the Persian model, or whatever the fuck she is, had a go at her because she has a go at pretty much anything having to do with America. And she was trying to say that American women are all masculinized, and if you're interested in tomboys, then you're clearly closeted gay.
Oh, that's funny.
Which caused a bit of a shit show online, as everyone that liked tomboys were going, that's kind of fucking weird that you're arguing that. Tomboys are great. And then there were some people that were coming out on her side. Also, she tried to advocate for passport bros just for the sake of them getting a wife that wasn't American and wasn't a tomboy, when the reason for passport bros isn't really they're going, oh my god, there's so many tomboys. It's more
pathetic. I can't. I don't think I can find anybody. Therefore, I'll buy me a Russian bride.
There's some of those.
Different reasons.
There's some of those. There's some that are just going like, I'm sick and tired of the people that are around me. And the majority of the ones that are sick and tired of the people around them are going, yeah, they're arrogant fucks that I can't stand. They just care about money and this shit and that shit and how they look. And I just want someone who's nice. I want someone who's kind. And they'll go overseas trying to find that because they've been sold the bill of goods of foreign brides are so much more kind and caring. Which a lot of that's bullshit.
I love when guys are like, I want to go to Asian countries because the women are so timid and stuff. I'm like, have you met Asian moms? Have you met Asian moms? I had a Chinese mom. My friend's Chinese mom from China bitch slapped me. I wasn't even her child. And she used to yell at her husband so badly. She'd be over here like, you're American now. You're a stupid fat fuck.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you're cheeseburger. Go eat cheeseburger, you cheeseburger man. You gross cheeseburger man. I'm like, I don't know why y'all think little Asian women are sweet, because once they're moms, they're gonna rip you to pieces.
That would be called anime and waifus. That's why they think this is a thing.
Yeah, because
they've never encountered actual Asian woman.
I grew up
ripping them a new asshole.
It's also the outward appearance.
Yeah.
Because
outward presumption of appearance.
When it comes to a lot of those cultures,
you're prim and proper in public.
Exactly. And they don't realize that that is not the way it always goes at home. Like, Muslim countries, they talk a lot about modesty. There's a reason why lingerie sells as well in the Middle East as it does.
But I grew up in a very diverse city. So we have a lot of Vietnamese and Chinese and Japanese. We even have whole section stores and all kinds of Korean stuff. And it's very big here. We also have a lot of Africans and stuff. And it's just funny to me because I grew up with a lot of middle-aged, Asian women of all different sorts. And none of them were meek and mild and timid. They were all trying to beat the hell out of you with a wooden flip-flop. It was not cool. Like they would go off and start beating other people's kids if they felt like they were misbehaving.
I mean,
They were whacking grown men in the head. Like
come on, you can't deny that there's some guys out there that kind of
Want to get
enjoy
whacked
that.
in the head.
Alright.
That hear that and they're going even better.
right, this is true. I just find it funny because it's very much a stereotype of you go to a different country and they're going to be more submissive. But like also, yeah, there are a lot more traditional. But then you also have to consider the man has to be very traditional too.
Yep.
Like you can't have one without the other. So like I see a lot of guys who are complaining because their wife that they got from some country expects them to be the sole provider of the household. And it's like, well, yeah, because you wanted a traditional wife. That's what traditional wife is.
Yeah, but they
again,
also don't watch past the first 2 minutes of the video, or 15 minutes after the wedding, or 15 years after the wedding.
Wait,
And
15
again-
minutes after the wedding, and she's already beaten him.
Well,
fucking awesome.
it's
Some
a,
relationships, that's the goal, Adam.
There you
Joel, it's a sealed deal, and once it's a sealed deal,
And now you're
things
married.
can't. Yeah,
There
things
you
can
have
change.
15 minutes
Yeah.
before your ass beat because they're giving her free reign. She's gonna
I'm not
give you a
saying
nice
none of them.
deal, but
There are these assumptions that are
she's
made
also gonna beat the fuck out of you.
The way that
because
You're gonna eat
of-
good after
yeah.
that black eye.
Yeah, I'm not saying none of them work out. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people go to other, because women sometimes do this too, but a lot of people go to other countries with a very different expectation than what they're going to get.
oh
Like,
yeah,
maybe you should study a
the-
little more before you do it.
stereotypes. They're playing on
it's
stereotypes.
such trash TV, but it is fascinating trash TV. The 90-day fiance bullshit.
Oh, yeah, I've seen clips of that. I haven't actually watched the show, but I've seen clips of that around.
A good chunk is exactly what you're saying. That the guys are going looking for someone more traditional and really attractive, and the women are going and they think that yes, Big Ed, Inquisitor, Big Ed. Our women are going and they're also looking for someone far more attractive, but they think that that person will act exactly like what a lot of people would call beta orbiters and shit like that would.
Mhm.
And they get pissed off that, well, this man that I met from an extremely traditional background where you aren't allowed to do public shows of affection doesn't want to hold my hand. And he
Right.
thinks that I should work out. He should love me the way that I am at my 500 pounds. And you're just going, what the fuck is wrong with everyone in the show?
They have weird expectations that like there's going to be a magical land where someone just does whatever
Yep.
they want them to.
Could we
And the
stop
thing-
rewarding mental illness?
And
Could we
the-
just for a minute, please
the-
stop rewarding mental illness?
The thing that I like about that show, though, is
That's all I
that-
ask.
it shows that there are different people in different relationships that are being entirely honest and open, and they looking at it with the
Some of
proper
them
perspective.
are, and the others are mentally ill.
Yep, exactly. And
But
that's
the
what I
problem-
But the problem is the preponderance of them are mentally ill. And we're just saying, good for you. You're fucking nuts.
Yeah, the show is absolutely doing
And
that.
but that's my problem. You
I don't know
can't
if they're rewarding them.
complain about overt mental illness in the culture taking over if you're going to sit at home and on Hulu or Netflix or whatever watch the congratulations of mental illness.
I don't
It
know if they're
used-
really congratulating or rewarding them. It's mostly just poking fun and getting entertainment out of crazy people.
Excuse me, they're getting all the attention in the world, aren't they? And
Yeah,
they're
but at the same time,
monetized.
I'm getting a laugh.
I know you're getting a laugh, but you are rewarding bad behavior.
Not all attention is good attention.
Yeah. It's possible to see it both ways. It's possible to see it as you're rewarding it. It's also possible to see it as, nah, I'm just taking the piss out of it.
Well, yeah, you can be taking the piss out of it, but the average consumer, of which there are far too many, are indulging it.
Yep. They probably are.
Yeah, I hate to be that person who's like, well, if you don't want your highway blocked on the way to work by people who are gluing their fucking hands to the highway, maybe it's best not to go, oh, that's fine, when you're watching it on Netflix.
That is easier to understand because that is something that impacts more than just the people involved. Whereas
if you don't think these people doing phony fake ass waifu and screaming at each other when they don't adhere to behavior patterns is not having an impact, it's having a huge impact. People, why the fuck do you think so many people are non-binary confused?
I don't think it's because of 90 Day Fiance. I think there's far more likely.
90 Day Fiance. I mean, but it's 90 Day Fiance. It's this, it's that, it's the other bullshit mass consumption, relationship television. Bachelor, Bachelorette. I mean, they're all like, these people are scary.
I don't get why people make relationships seem so super duper hard. It did not really.
Well, it's because
they have to because views.
Well, everyone's been sold different things that are must-haves for a relationship, and people constantly confuse nice-to-haves with must-haves, which is the part that drives me crazy. Because
look at all the goddamned independent feminist women who only want men who have higher status significantly financially than they want. And then it shifts the burden entirely on the men.
Yep.
All these, I'm a strong independent woman that don't need no man, but the man I prefer is the man that will take care of me and I won't have to do jack diddly fucking squat for the rest of my life.
And then you got the other side of the red pill guys, which make me want to be single even though I'm happily married.
Yeah, but it's the shit out of the women disgusts me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that men can be led along the garden path by women, that's an age-old trope. And it's probably an age-old trope because there's a lot of truth to it. But it's the cynical way that women are manipulating and behaving now. I mean, it's borderline sociopathic, if not full-on sociopathic.
Well, Chris is out of the shower now, so I do have to dip, but thank you all for having me on.
It's been fun having you on.
Say hey to Chris.
Prospero says hi.
But yeah. The tomboy section is it's gay to like tomboys, which no, again, it's the straightest way to like. It's the straightest thing. Guys liking tomboys, hell yeah.
Well, most tomboys like men.
Yeah.
Not necessarily better than women, but, and I don't mean sexually, I just mean they like men.
Yep.
They do not dislike men. And we've gone through about 40 years of feminism where men are all broken.
Yep.
You're all just bad women. You suck at being women. And it's like feminism took the most bizarre lesbian twist where I need to hook up with a girl behaving man.
And the irony behind what Assassin just said, Assassin said tomboys are the true, strong, independent women.
Yeah.
Is tomboys are also the ones that are most likely, at least in my experience, to go, hey, thanks. You really helped me there.
Yeah. I mean, I was never sure whether I should classify myself as a tomboy. I was classified as one. I like sports. I prefer the company of men to women. I mean, I was a daddy's girl in that regard. I mean, he taught me to play basketball, what football I could play, baseball. I like the competitive sports. But I didn't like girls
Mm-hmm.
in the adolescent sexual development. No. I was not interested in women. I was interested in no one for a long period of time. And then my interest fell to men. But I taught my college boyfriend how to throw a spiral with a football.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me sanguine in my time period because I was in college from 1976 to 1980, back in the dark ages. It was tough for tomboys.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to flirt. I watched the girls that knew how to flirt, and I thought it looked like phony baloney nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, watching a chick I knew who was as bright as I was bat her eyes and turn dumb. I mean, just go dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That was so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Not just annoying, offensive. I mean, I wasn't taking offense to it, but it was still an offense to my intellect. And I thought, all right, I'm smart. I'm also kind of good at these sports, and I like men, but not women much because they're fake fucks like that nonsense. And I spent, they all got boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
The eye batters, everybody who had, she's got tits, she knows how to use them. Here they are. I suddenly turned stupid.
I was about to say, it's not very hard to use tits appropriately. Present them is.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm not going to say that somehow or another, how I was endowed versus how my peer group was endowed. They had an advantage. I got that.
With certain inalienable rights.
Yeah. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of tits.
I'm sorry, I just came into the conversation. What were you all talking about?
Tomboys.
I heard it down. Oh, tomboys. Well,
Yeah.
they too should enjoy these rights given to us by a creator.
Nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed them more because I wasn't busy batting my eyes and losing IQ points. It took a long time for me.
Inquisitor, that's one way of ending up with really hot tits.
Yeah. And also, that's what I was doing. I was checking my toaster.
You were inserting your tits into a toaster?
Yeah. Well, no, I was checking out the toaster and I completely lost all the conversation I came in with. We are endowed.
I
Yes, we are.
think I said well endowed, but that's okay.
Well, okay, well endowed. Lincoln was,
We are well endowed by our creator.
At least those of us that are lucky enough.
With our inalienable rights. Hey, can I bump my inalienable rights up against your well endowment? Okay.
Look, he was writing us on his way on the train, so he was, you know, making notes.
Yeah.
Bit of a phrasing issue there, Adam. Bit of a phrasing issue.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
Is it?
I was not aware Lincoln was into trains.
Whoa.
Like I said, bit of a phrasing issue there.
And like I said, choo choo, motherfucker.
Yep.
Listen, wordplay is always accepted at the Minions Zoo.
Hopefully.
I know. I can't help it. I'm sorry, but what were you talking about? Endowment?
The Tomboys.
Tomboys?
Tomboys and their endowments.
Yes. How many endowments do they get?
It's what we fight for.
You fight for endowments?
Damn Skippy.
Now, how do you apply to be a tomboy?
This is going weird places in my mind now.
I don't know.
It's 2024. You can apply.
There is a point of choice, Sanguine.
Is that a pronoun? Can you do a pronoun for that?
See, I was concerned when it became you fight for your endowments as a tomboy. I just got the image of a gladiatorial arena where all the tomboys are completely flat and the winner gets the biggest tits.
Yeah. They get the free surgery card.
They absorb all the tits of all the other tomboys.
See, the bad thing is they're gonna have to spend a whole lot of more money on new armor because.
All right, I'm out.
You were the one that said tomboys fight for their endowments. This is your fault, Prospero.
I don't think I said that exactly, but that's fine.
You said that tomboys fight for their endowments.
In all honesty, they probably could take their plate armor and just alter it slightly to, fit their
you need to make it even more barrel-chested.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look, we're fighting with you.
No, you're not. Yes.
Well, are we?
I don't need help in the endowments.
No, I'm saying we're fighting.
Stop.
Okay, yeah.
Stop making mouth sounds at him. Stop it right now.
Like I said, you were the one that started this, Prospero. When you said tomboys fight for their endowments, that just caused mental images.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, gladiatorial combat for tit size. That's an interesting mental image.
Yeah. I think we can make an anime out of that.
That's not what I meant.
That could absolutely be an anime.
It's a whole bunch of flat-chested.
That's it. Bye. I really love both of you, but I think it's probably time for me to go to bed because you're misunderstanding. But
I'll give you your parting words here in a second. But it would be a fantastic anime. It would take place before reincarnation, where all the tomboys have to fight for their endowments for their reincarnated self.
Oh my God, I wish I had enough endowment to slap you unconscious. But I do not.
You know what?
God did not see fit.
Hold on. Prospero.
Yes.
You just made a clip where somebody's going to put that into the anime where there is a lady who does indeed slap somebody with her endowments.
Are we making it the butt jousting anime?
Double hit. Huh? Oh, yeah.
Because there's the butt jousting pool anime.
Yeah, I've seen that. It'd be like
Sure.
that, but with gladiators
Please
and
not.
boobs
Yeah.
or
Would
endowments.
you just not.
But do you have any parting words, Prospero? Because it is getting close to that time, so we
Fuck
can
you.
Yeah, we should probably. I mean,
wrap up.
I'm good for closing up shop.
So, parting words other than fuck you?
Fuck you on Thursday.
Oh,
Well, that's Johnny's day. That just seems a bit rude. I'm normally on Johnny's night.
Yeah, that works.
what did
Fuck
Johnny
him
do?
too.
Whoa!
Man, Johnny catching strays now. How about you, Adam? Parting words?
Well, I enjoyed the time that we spent together. The four of us, Prosby and Pop Tart,
Mm-hmm.
and you, Sanguine. Um,
Yeah, the host.
yeah, the host, and yeah, I, I, like I said, I always enjoy hanging out with you guys on Friday.
Always
Um,
fun.
yeah, it's good to just shoot the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I think I'm gonna do some storyboards about this gladiatorial. Let's see where that goes.
You do the illustration. Let me know if you need some help on the writing.
And, but yeah, it was
I
fun.
have something to say in my
Oh, no.
parting words.
No, but you already said your parting words.
Shut up.
Okay.
You're not the host.
You wanted it. Fuck you on Thursday.
Yeah, well, fuck you on Thursday and hi, quiz.
What's
I
the
had-
wait? That was the
I
last
had
word.
not
That was the parting words. Hello.
That was
I
it.
had not said hi to Quiz, who's in chat. So hi, Quiz.
That's very strange parting words.
Yeah.
Normally, parting words are along the lines of a goodbye, not a hi.
Okay. Now you know what the
Okay, goodbye, you two fuckwits.
the endowments have now become bigger. And more physics. But yes, thank you, sir, for
Yep.
letting me hang out.
I'll leave off with my standard of if you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you.
Blah,
with
blah,
that-
blah.
Have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.
Night.
This is when you say
Blah,
goodnight,
blah,
Prospero.
blah. Yeah, goodbye, blah, blah, blah.
There we go. Now let me click.